I have said that if you're a young person, you really wanted a party, not NDC NPP, then Cheddar is the best option for you. Because it's like his message has resonated with some section of the Gen Zs. And if Cheddar should repackage himself very well, reorganize, and get maybe some other key people. Imagine Shattawale decided to back Cheddar. You saw the crowd over the weekend.
Indeed.
Imagine Shatta says, I want to back Cheddar. Cheddar says, if I come, Shatta will be the minister for tourism and creative arts. You will be surprised the way the young people, see, the generation we have now, they are different from the ones that they look for certain things, they think in certain ways. So if Cheddar, for the first time on the scene, is able to defeat a stalwart like Alan and had 3 times votes than Alan, if there's a young people's party or if there's a party that young people are tilting towards, it is Cheddar. Not NDC and NPP. Not NDC and NPP. It is Cheddar. So if any young person who is looking up to anybody, per this election results, the person will be looking at Cheddar's party. And I think that Cheddar's message, maybe somebody need to review what he said he would do during the campaign, and then do some study about how young people relate to such message. Can you imagine if Cheddar has done a campaign for 4 years before this election? Because Cheddar actually campaigned like almost 6 or 7 months the election. He just was putting out billboards. We don't even know who was on the billboard. We saw masked face and a billboard. Who is this person? Who is that? And by the time they actually made us know that this is the person behind it, it was about 6 months to an election. And now that we know that, that mask was Cheddar, and then he's able to pull this vote and beat a stalwart like Alan, and is able to get that. It tells you that if Cheddar repackages very well, and is able to get certain young people who are not associated with NDC NPP, and they also have crowd pulling mentality, or the ideas will go down with the young people, Cheddar could become the third force in this country, because it could be a party that the younger generation are willing to associate based on the message. And as I said, I don't know whether it's the message that gone down well with them, or his age. Or the study, and somebody to do a study into that. Anybody from a party now thinking that they want to ride on in the past is missing the point. The generation that will determine the next election, if you go and do a study of NPP supporters who are between 25 and below, and ask them what they know about UP tradition, not even 10% will be able to tell you what they know about UP tradition. It's a tradition for the party. But those young people that are going to determine the election, most of them have no idea about, because the parties themselves don't preach ideology as part of their messages. They preach, I will give you a job, I will do that. They are not preaching any ideology. So the young people don't understand when we say UP, what really is the ideology. They don't even know. So if you think that riding on UP,
the history of UP,
you may become the CPP. The reason why CPP struggles in election, I always tell people that their messages are not targeted at current generation. They always want to leverage on the glory, the past glories of CPP. Those who enjoy the past glories, many of them are no longer alive. Those who are alive today and determine the vote, they've not felt the impact of that CPP that you are mentioning. So when you say CPP, they only hear a name. And it was Kwame Nkrumah's party. But when Nkrumah was governing and CPP was doing all that, and these people they didn't even benefit from anything. And therefore, the CPP, until it took this message towards the generation, to not get it. So I'm saying that even NDC and NPP, if they are smart, they want to study Cheddar's messages. How come Cheddar emerged for the first time? It's able to beat a stalwart like Alan. It means that whatever he was saying during the campaign, probably the messages were resonating with some young people. And if NDC and NPP want to get those young people really to believe them and trust them and come to their side, it means that they need to find out through a certain study how people see Cheddar's message to translate to this vote. And it may help them to actually fashion messages and policies that will be closer to what Cheddar is saying, so that then they will look like they are ready to attract the younger generation. Alan was made to believe that he's one of the likable people in this country. And that people who are not even MPP, at that time he was in MPP, people who are not even MPP will vote for Alan if Alan is for the ticket of the MPP, right? All kinds of things were said about the person.
Yeah.
Yes, Alan is a big stalwart in this Fourth Republic when it comes to NPP politics, so you can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
So when people projected him as somebody that can easily pull the vote for the NPP, somebody that people who are not even NPP are willing to vote for, even some NDC members are willing to vote for, and all kinds of information was shared that is the kind of Alan people should expect. And then he broke away from the NPP to form his party. And if all the attributes that have been said about him had worked, I was thinking Alan could have pulled about 10% of the vote in the last elections. So when I look at all the things said about Alan and how he was projected, that even minus NPP, there are many Ghanaians in the other parties, including those we call floating voters, who will prefer Alan over any other candidate in an election. And then Alan goes into the elections. What are the results? Alan had 32,457 votes. The percentage is 0.28%. 0.28%. This is Alan that has been part of our political process in the Fourth Republic.
Yeah.
Then another new entrant, Nana Kwame Bediakun, we all call him Cheddar, right?
Yeah.
That's his popular name.
Yeah.
That is his first time. Cheddar has not been part of our political system in this Fourth Republic. He only emerged in the last elections and said he wants to be president. Alan, Cheddar was able to beat Alan.
Yeah.
Cheddar had 88,944 votes, which represents 0.76%.
Yeah.
Okay? So if I look at Alan Chiramantin, who has been part and parcel of the political process for the past 30 plus years, and Cheddar, who only emerged in the last elections, and we put them to the test in the last election, and Cheddar has about 3 times the votes Alan had. Clearly, I think Alan and the people around him in the Ghanaian politics are actually fading off. And therefore, if they are the leaders, and if Alan is going to be the one on the ticket of the party, I don't think that anything significant is going to change. And that is why I have said somewhere, and I'll say that if you're a young person and you are looking for a political party, and you think that politics is what you want to do, I don't think that this party gives you any opportunity. Because I'm giving you statistical evidence that if Alan for the past 30 years has been part and parcel of the political process, and we've been made to believe that people like him so much that if he stands, no candidate can beat him. And then he leaves the NPP to go and form his own party. And all the people we are told liked him, who are not even NPP and will be willing to vote for him. Now the man was on the ballot, and he had 32,000. It meant that all those things that were said about him really did not translate to the vote.
Was there some
political figures that break away from their mother parties do not necessarily do well in their future endeavors. You can look at the likes of Papa Kwesi Ndim when he stood on a ticket of CPP. I mean, for the first time, he garnered about 1.73% of the votes. Unfortunately, when he ended up in PPP, he couldn't even make 0.5%.
Yeah.
We can speak about the lives of Gusitano, Ireku Brobe, and what have you. But for me, history is there, extremely important for all of us to look at to make analysis. But the dynamics of our national or political life is changing. Nobody thought that a constituency like Dome Kwabenya will be won by the
NDC. Yeah.
There are several of these constituencies that belong to the NPP or even the NDC that the NPP won some time ago. Just like we won Dome Kwabenya and others. Nobody can tell. The perception of young people these days, especially the Gen Zs, have changed.
Yeah.
They don't have ties to any political party.
True.
They form 62% of the population. If at any point in time they think that the UP Plus is presenting a formidable candidate who, in their view, trumps all other candidates, they will have no other option than to choose the UP Plus. So for us, just like, unlike my brother Palgrave is saying, and is not threatened by UP, for us, we are not necessarily threatened by UP, but we are abreast with the exigencies of the time. And it encourages us to do well, to do better, to be worlds apart from the NPP and all other political parties so that we can create the necessary environment for the young people of this country to be endeared towards whatever we are doing as a government. So for me, we welcome them, we appreciate their strides, and we will go a long way to do whatever we can as a political party in government to make the people of Ghana happy, to address their issues, to address their plight, so that we can always be on top. For the MPP and the other political parties to always be in opposition, so that we can continue delivering the better government that the people of Ghana have always wanted. I think that Alan has become a product of, some hatred against him within the MPP, merely because he contested President Kufuor. I recall that some time ago when President Kufuor was choosing a running mate. I'm told that President Kufuor, some people recommended that he chooses the current national chairman of UP Plus, Boniface Abubakar.
Oh, yes.
The reason why he was not allowed to be the running mate, because President Kufuor said the man was close to Alan. Yes. That was why he was rejected. So, for me, I see Alan as a very respectable person. Growing up, some of us heard about him, about his strides. Former ambassador to the US, former minister of trades. Some time ago, he was leading a presidential special initiative under President Kufuor and what have you. He was one of the founding members of the MPP. Some time ago, I'm told that he has even been a leader of Young Patriotic Forum or something, like one of the precursors of the MPP. And so he is somebody that has built a lot of people, young businessmen in the MPP. Except that, there's what we call vicissitudes of life. Some people got some positions because of time, because of their destiny or what have you. For me, I think that Alan has that level of integrity and stature and depth, more than many of the people that the MPP are boasting of presently, who are currently contesting as flag bearer. Except that, like I said, life is like that.